Fox News. Breaking news.
What happens when a city drowning in violent crime finally gets a president who refuses to look the other way? Well, Memphis just found out, and President Trump touched down in the Bluff City to celebrate what the mainstream media doesn't want you to see. A once crime-ridden American city that's now transforming before our very eyes. 6 months ago, Memphis was a war zone. Parents couldn't let their kids play outside. Business owners watched their delivery vans get stolen in broad daylight. But today the message from Memphis is clear. Crime is getting crushed, and it's all because President Trump did what Joe Biden never would. Now think about this. For years, hardworking Americans in cities like Memphis were told to just accept it. Accept the carjackings, accept the robberies, accept watching your neighborhood become a no-go zone. The previous administration, they didn't care. Democrats running these cities, they chose to let it happen. But here's what hits home. It's not just about statistics. It's about a grandfather who started a family business 50 years ago and now fears for his grandbaby's safety. This is about parents who moved away because they couldn't protect their own children in their own neighborhood. It's about American citizens being held prisoner in their own communities by gang violence and drug cartels that were allowed to flourish under soft on crime policies. President Trump looked at Memphis and said enough is enough. He deployed U.S. Marshals, brought in the U.S. National Guard, sent a crystal clear message. The federal government will not abandon American cities to criminals. This is what real leadership looks like. And speaking of the Trump administration taking decisive action to secure America's future, there's breaking news that you need to hear about right now. While headlines focus elsewhere, the Trump administration just released a document that could fundamentally reshape the U.S. mining sector. Now, this is real. It's unfolding right now under Executive Order 14241. This goes far beyond mining. It's a national security mandate. In an official report delivered to the White House, the administration identified the Palmer Project in Alaska as a strategic asset for America's mineral independence. That project belongs to Vizsla Copper. You see, for years we've watched China dominate critical mineral supply chains, holding leverage over American manufacturing and defense capabilities. President Trump is changing that equation. The same decisive leadership bringing law and order back to Memphis is now securing the resources America needs to stay strong. Vizsla Copper is positioned at the center of this strategic initiative. When the administration names your project as a national priority, that's not speculation, that's policy in action. You can check out Vizsla Copper trading as VCUFF as well as VCU.U. And there is a full briefing that has been prepared for you exclusively for Next News viewers. Now back to the incredible transformation happening in Memphis and what it means for cities across America. This is what really got me fired up about the story. U.S. Marshals Director didn't mince words when he addressed President Trump directly. He said the mission was, quote, clear and concise. Crime will not prevail in Memphis, period. And folks, they delivered. But it's not just the feds making it work. It's true coordination between federal, state, local authorities, and the National Guard all working together. This is the blueprint the Democrat mayors have refused to follow for decades, and the results speak for themselves. Here's a Memphis business owner thanking President Trump for creating the Memphis Safe Task Force.
President, thank you for saving Memphis, and thank you for asking me to share my story. My name is Tim Pugh. I'm a co-founder and president of Pugh's Earthworks and Pugh's Flowers. My brothers and I have 2 family-owned businesses in Memphis, and this year marks our 50th year in business since we started our American dream. My entire family, including our new grandbaby, is living and working in Memphis. We want our family to feel and be safe. We have many friends that have moved away and encouraged their children to move away because of the escalating crime. We love Memphis and call it our home and would never want to move away. The crime in Memphis has affected my businesses. We've had several delivery vans full of flowers stolen as we're at the front door of someone's house delivering. Turn around and the van was gone. We've had landscape equipment stolen from job sites, so now we have to lock each piece of equipment to the truck while we're working on a property. And because of multiple break-ins, including one night we had 5 vans with the catalytic converter stolen on all 5. Due to repeated theft, we had to install an electric fence and multiple cameras around our main store to prevent this theft. All of this adds significant financial burdens and man hours. In the spring of last year, members of one of my landscape crews were robbed at gunpoint. This type of action became too normal in this city that I was raised in, and honestly, I felt that we were on a path of no return. How could we continue to operate our business when theft was rampant and, God forbid, lives were lost? Thankfully for you, Mr. President, we don't have to live and operate that way anymore. We have
President Trump bringing results to Memphis. His gratitude echoes a new era of safety, but now let's hear from the U.S. Marshals Director.
Today we celebrate the successes of this incredible mission and all our federal, state, local, and National Guard teammates who have contributed mightily to the Memphis Safe Task Force. Mr. President, it is an honor to be entrusted by you to lead this amazing task force as Director of the United States Marshal Service. Your decisiveness in responding to state and local leaders' requests for federal assistance is inspiring. It was just over 6 months ago when you signed the executive order restoring law and order in Memphis. At that point, the city of Memphis was overwhelmed with unprecedented levels of violent crime, to include some of the nation's highest per capita rates of murder, robbery, and aggravated assault. Memphis residents could not safely enjoy a walk downtown. Parents were fearful of their children playing outside, and local businesses struggled to prosper. The mission you gave us was clear and concise. Crime will not prevail in Memphis, period.
With the mission accomplished, in Memphis, Trump set his sight on the so-called leadership from Democrats who turned a blind eye. Here's the president in Memphis.
Years, our leaders allowed entire cities in America to be destroyed by crime, drugs, and gang violence. Tolerating this violence was always a choice. 19 of the 20 most dangerous cities in America are run by Democrats. I'm surprised. I thought it was 20 of 20. I don't know why it's 19. I don't believe it. It's like I heard it was 25 out of 25. Well, I'll find out about it because I don't believe it's right. Whoever wrote that statistic is wrong. But under the Trump administration, we believe that no city or neighborhood should be left behind. In Memphis, the crime became so horrible that residents were made prisoners of violence in their own community, in their own home. But with the help of the great people right here at this table and right here, it's a whole different story right now. It's changing fast, and it'll be record-setting in a very short period of time, and I'll be here to celebrate it with you.
President Trump, record time, ready to celebrate. Taking some bold steps to ensure no city is abandoned to chaos, enhancing the benefits for our dedicated National Guard. Here's more from the president in Memphis.
I'm pleased to announce that the Secretary of War used to be the Secretary of Defense. We made a minor change. We like the sound of it better. That the Secretary of War has just signed a directive to ensure that all National Guard members serving on this task force, as well as in D.C., New Orleans, and our border security missions, will receive the same benefits as active duty troops. Wow. Because you deserve it. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Trump making a central detour, cultural detour to Graceland. Check this out.
What do you think? CNN would say no.
Have you been here before, Mr. President, or is this your first time?
I've never been here, no. I'm a big fan of Elvis. Who isn't, right? But I think he's great. I think his music is incredible. I understood his life. His life was, complicated, right? It was complicated. But he was terrific, sure. And he was born with a voice that he never lost, right?
Yes, exactly.
He had other difficulties, but he never lost the voice.
The last day.
Yeah.
There he is in the front room at Graceland. So here is the truth the establishment media will never tell you. See, this was always a choice. President Trump said it himself. Tolerating violence in American cities was always a political choice. Democrats chose chaos. They chose to defund police. They chose to let criminals walk free. And now 19 of the 20 most dangerous cities in America they're run by Democrats. And honestly, Trump doesn't even believe that number because he thinks it should be 20 out of 20. But under this administration, we believe no American city should be left behind. Memphis is the proof of concept, folks. Deploy resources, support law enforcement, coordinate at every level, and crush crime. This is the model that's going to spread across America. So the Trump administration just showed every city in America what's possible when you have leadership that actually cares about public safety. Memphis went from a city where businesses were getting robbed in broad daylight to a city where that business owner says crime feels like it's down 100%. That's what happens when you put America first. President Trump isn't stopping there. He signed a directive giving National Guard members serving on these task forces the same benefits as active duty troops, because when you serve your country, you deserve to be taken care of. That's leadership with backbone. Now, I want to hear from you. Should President Trump deploy these task forces to every Democrat-run city that's drowning in crime? Drop a yes or no in the comments and tell me which city needs saving next. And since you got to the end of the video, here's a free gift. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963. See, you're one of the diehards. Not everyone gets to the end of the video, but you stayed to the end. And that's why you deserve to be on this list, so that you know exactly when news drops. You don't have to wait for the algorithm. You don't have to wait for notifications. Just got to wait for me to send you that message directly to your cell phone. So don't forget to check out the Next News merch shop. You'll find it linked down below. Stay informed and stay free.
The system controls information. Information control is power. They don't want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.